You are watching ABC7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. We're continuing to monitor that monster storm heading for the Carolina coastline. Take a look at incredibly detailed images from space showing the churning vortex of Hurricane Florence's eye wall.
That's right. Let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with an update on Hurricane Florence. Bob, what can you tell us at this hour?
I can tell you this, that it's gone through this eye wall replacement that you've learned about since Irma. What happens is that a storm gets so big and so massive that the inner eye wall collapses and then a secondary one develops. It's sort of like the ice skater that does a spin at the end with the arms tucked. It spins a lot faster. Once it throws its arms out, it slows down a little bit. The same can be true with a hurricane that goes through this eye wall replacement. Earlier this morning it was weaker. It wasn't a very impressive looking storm, and now it's getting tighter wound in the center, and that means that that second eye wall is now starting to contract as well. So it could go through this eye wall replacement again tomorrow. It takes about 24 hours for it to occur, and it's all about timing. If it does it and gets into a position just before the Carolina coast, it could certainly be a Category 4 or 5 hurricane, but right now it's becoming more and more impressive as far as the satellite imagery goes. It's becoming a little bit more symmetrical, although on the western edge here it doesn't look all that impressive, but conditions are favorable for this to strengthen through the overnight tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. As far as the visible eye goes, the visible satellite imagery goes, you can see it right there. There's some clouds around it. Wasn't that impressive, but notice as we move through time since 8 o'clock this morning, it makes its way off to the west-northwest, and you can see multiple vortices inside the center of that storm with a stadium effect, classic stadium effect occurring once again. Reconnaissance aircraft will more than likely find stronger winds. Right now they're at 140, but they could go as high as 150 at the 11 o'clock advisory tonight. Gusts are up to 165 miles an hour. They're expected to get up to 190 around that eye wall again tomorrow, and that'll happen tomorrow afternoon. And as it approaches the coast of the Carolinas, they're all under a hurricane warning now, the entire coast of North Carolina and much of northeastern portions of South Carolina at this time. They're expecting a devastating storm with an incredible storm surge up to 15 feet, even higher in some places. On top of that, rainfall amounts exceeding 20 inches in some areas as it kind of just mills around over North Carolina. Well, much more on that. Our weather, we're showing a few scattered showers around. We'll have much more in our forecast in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Millions of people along the coast bracing for what could be the worst storm to hit the Carolinas since the 1950s. In South Carolina, traffic is still flowing, but officials there reversing the highway direction on one side to ease the mass expected evacuations. In Virginia, the Navy is racing against the clock to prepare, moving more than 100 planes and helicopters out of harm's way. And today, officials are trying to send the message that Florence is not like previous storms.
Even if you've ridden out storms before, this one is different. Don't bet your life on riding out a monster.
Today, President Trump saying government agencies are absolutely and totally prepared and sparing no expense. Remember, this storm is not impacting us, but there's still 2.5 months left in hurricane season. So if you need to get a plan together, go to our website, mysuncoast.com. Under the weather tab, you can find a link to our 1-hour hurricane special called Surviving the Storm, as well as our printable 2018 Hurricane Guide to help get you ready.
17 years ago today, then President George W. Bush was sitting in a Sarasota elementary classroom when terrorists attacked the World Trade Center. That classroom at Booker Elementary is now a part of American history. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick talked to teachers that were with President Bush when he heard the news. She has more on their stories.
It's part of history I didn't want to be a part of.
Room 301 at Emma E. Booker Elementary School looks like any other classroom. Today, it was full of students learning how to spell. R-A-K-E. R-A-K-E. But rewind 17 years.
Great to meet everybody.
And it's a historic classroom. The one where President George W. Bush sat and read to the students on September 11th, 2001.
We have been selected because of the reading gains our kids had made.
That's when this happened, and President Bush learned about the attacks on the Twin Towers.
But the fact that President Bush stayed and read and allowed the kids to read to him and he interacted just a little bit, those 3 to 5 minutes, maybe even longer that he was here, really made a big impact on our school.
At first, no one knew what was going on.
It was a little surreal, like, okay, did something really happen? Because many of us thought, okay, it was just a plane crash, because they happen often.
Then they turned on the TVs and learned the truth. President Bush quickly addressed the nation from the school, then was rushed out.
He turned around, to leave, and I remember seeing the look of sadness, of just grief-stricken on his face.
It caused a bit of panic, parents wondering if the school and president were the next targets.
We were trying to keep parents calm, let them know your children are safe, they're all okay, but then we had parents that just showed up on campus.
Today, a bookcase full of memorabilia reminds students and teachers of the role their school played in the history of 9/11. A scrapbook detailing that day is a part of that, and this plaque hangs outside of room 301.
And when people ask, where were you when the Twin Towers and the Pentagon were attacked, we will say, we were with the president when he found out. It's a funny feeling to be part of history like that. It's a sadder feeling to know why.
That was ABC7's Jess Dowdrick reporting. Now here's a look at some of the ceremonies remembering 9/11 today across the Suncoast. Sarasota police officers wearing mourning badges coming together at 8:46 a.m. for a moment of silence to remember the lives lost. Northport Police and Northport Fire Rescue also held a memorial service at City Hall. The public was invited to honor all patriots, including military, fire, police, and EMS.
On this day to remember, a group of Bradenton veterans are showing their support by helping one of their own.
For years now, William Perkins has been living in his mobile home without a working toilet, no bath, windows bolted shut, and a leaking roof. ABC7's Taylor Torregano was at his house as volunteers from Harvest United Methodist Church worked in 90-degree humidity.
Jacqueline Scott, it is 93 degrees and humid, so it's no surprise to see the blood, sweat, and tears coming from these volunteers to help a vet that many of them only just met. They're here to make his home safer, drier, and warmer. But for them, it means a lot more than that.
I'm so happy. You guys are great.
Gratitude spilled over from the man who once sacrificed all he had.
If I had to do it over again, would I do it? I would. I like the Marine Corps. If it wasn't for my leg going bad, I'd probably stayed.
A limb he would have traded for the chance to keep fighting.
Stepped on a landmine, and they repaired part of my leg, but towards the end of 77, I had them take it off. It got to where it was hurting so bad I couldn't stand it.
The Vietnam sniper was sent home with no way of knowing he still had many more battles to come.
It's been a little rough for us. Before I moved, I had prostate cancer, kidney cancer, and throat cancer.
Still, he remains positive.
Life is still good.
And humble, never once asking for this.
He needs a wheelchair ramp soon, so we decided we'd come in and put that in. And we got into the home. We found the bathrooms were just substandard. You were worried about falling through the floor in the bathroom, and the bathtub wouldn't work. It leaked so bad they couldn't use it.
Not to mention the leak in the roof and failing floorboards. A neighbor saw these conditions and reached out to the Minnesota Operation Troop Support Group. That group asked the Harvest United Methodist Church to step in, and that was all it took.
It's great. It's great to see a community come together for the needs of another person.
A thank you that meant as much to the veteran
My dream finally come true.
that it did for the desperately needed volunteers.
For a long time, veterans weren't appreciated. And now the country's changed. And it's just great to get everyone out to do something, to just say, you went when we needed you. We're here to help you now.
Now, when it comes to funding, Home Depot really stepped up. Not only did they provide $3,000 in materials, they also offered 2 additional staff members to help with manpower. I'm reporting from Bradenton, Taylor Torregano, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Great story. Thank you, Taylor. That heartwarming story to help the veteran was made possible by other veterans. And one of the volunteers at Perkins's house today was at the Pentagon on this day 17 years ago. That's why this all means a little more to Terry Bice. He says he remembers the chaos of that day vividly. Bice went to work at the Pentagon at about 8:45 a.m. like any other day. And when he got there, his co-workers were talking about the planes that had already hit the Twin Towers. Then the building he was in was hit.
And all of a sudden, our building just shook to the core. And everybody was running around. And if you went to the window, you could look out to the north of where we were, and you could see some smoke coming up.
Well, from a man who experienced the tragedy firsthand, he asked that the world remember the nearly 3,000 lives that were lost in New York City, Washington, and Pennsylvania that morning.
In First Alert traffic tonight, in just a few weeks, the state plans to start a huge project that will impact traffic at I-75 and State Road 70 in Manatee County. The Florida Department of Transportation plans to begin the $80 million project on October 8th. It will include rebuilding the State Road 70 interchange from its current design to a modified diamond interchange design. I-75 will also be widened to 8 lanes from north of University Parkway to south of State Road 64. You can view the plans and get more information about this project at a public meeting that will happen this week. It will be held at the Manatee Technical College in Bradenton this Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m.
And starting today, a road closure in Sarasota you may want to know about. The roundabout going in at US 41 and 10th Street will require temporary closure. 10th Street on the west side of 41 will be closed through Thursday. Construction crews are installing a new sewer line there. Drivers can use Boulevard of the Arts as an alternate route. Still to come in your Suncoast News, some tips to keep in mind about your health when preparing for a hurricane.
And how Volkswagen is using 3D printing to produce auto parts. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
You like to pay less. That's why you made Honda Accord the best-selling midsize car in America. Get the redesigned Accord, the North American Car of the Year, or Civic, a KBB.com Best Buy for less than the competition. Like SUVs and trucks? Get Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, CRV, the 8-passenger Pilot, or Ridgeline truck for up to $4,240 less. Today at your local Honda dealer.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Whether it be a Category 4 hurricane or any other type of emergency, you'll fare best if you've got the basic preparedness down. So how much food do you need, and do you have all your medicines packed? And what important documents should you bring with you? Reed Binion has tips for preparing in today's Health Minute.
With the Atlantic hurricane season hitting its peak this week and Florence zeroing in on the East Coast, there's no time like the present to make sure you're prepared for a hurricane or another emergency event. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the best thing to do is start with the basics. Make sure you have enough water and non-perishable food for at least 72 hours. Also, prepare prescription medications to last 7 to 10 days. Along with medicines, you'll want to make sure you have all the medical equipment you need and that it's in working order. Don't forget to include a fully stocked first aid kit as well. Pet supplies and specific items for babies should also be in your kit if needed. Make sure your family has trained and is comfortable performing CPR. Everyone old enough should also be familiar with how to operate and maintain medical equipment used by family members. Finally, copies of all important medical documents, including health records, immunizations, insurance cards, and doctor contacts, should be stored in a waterproof container and kept with emergency supplies. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Okay, all eyes obviously set on what Florence is going to do here in the upcoming days, and it looks like it's going to be a devastating storm for the southeast, not just North Carolina either, and it's not just a coastal storm, it's an inland storm as well that's going to be a big player here, and South Carolina and the European now suggesting that it may get close as it moves inland and then drop to the southwest, even near Georgia. So some heavy rainfall expected over a wide swath of area, and tropical storm force winds will be felt even if it makes landfall well inland, and that causes power outages, so an extreme power outage event as well. It's active to say the least. Isaac looking a little healthier on the satellite imagery too as it approaches the islands there. More than likely hurricane warnings will go up over the northern, looks like Lesser Antilles in the next advisory, and behind it, we're not worried about Helene too much. This one is Joyce. Joyce, Texas has to keep an eye out on it. We're getting some of the high cloudiness from Joyce all the way into South Florida. That's about all we're going to get from Joyce, I think, as it heads off to the west. This is a storm that's getting better and better organized. Unfortunately for the folks in the southeast, not the best news coming out of the National Hurricane Center this afternoon, and I think it's only going to get worse. This is the wind radius, the forecast anyway. This is based on the last run, by the way, at 11 o'clock in the morning. So they only have these updated 6 hours after the run comes out. But this one's showing the tropical storm force winds coming in midday on Thursday. Hurricane force winds are right here, the extreme winds pushing off to the northwest. And they only do this product 2 days out. They don't project it out any longer than that. That's why that kind of vanishes right there. But that's going to stay strong. Right on in through, it looks like impact as a Category 4 hurricane now. The Hurricane Center is suggesting. Rainfall amounts, I showed you earlier that swath that went right through Raleigh and up into Virginia. Well, this is the European model. And I mentioned that rainfall possibly extending down into Georgia. We're talking plus 10 inches. More than likely, we're talking in the scale of 20 to 30 inches of rainfall here, if indeed it does that and kind of just dances along the coastline. Well, let's get to Isaac now. This is the storm that we'll watch. These are the ones that have a little bit more trouble with west central Florida. But at this point, it doesn't appear that this is going to be the case with this right now. So we'll keep an eye on it nonetheless. Anytime the storm is below our latitude, we have to watch it closely. It is getting better organized as it makes its way to the west. Top winds are at 70, expected to reach hurricane status later tonight and just before arrival there in the northern portions of the Lesser Antilles. And then it moves through the Caribbean and then out into the western portion of the Caribbean. Some models tend to bend it off to the north, while another idea is to head it off to the west. More than likely, it's going to follow this feature, and that's what the National Hurricane Center is suggesting. We'll wait to see if it does do that bend. This one has a 70% chance of becoming Joyce as it heads off toward Texas. So a lot of activity. We're right here in between it all. So far, Florida avoiding any major concerns at this point. Winds out of the east for boaters tomorrow, turning to the northwest at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be 1 to 2 feet. And Wednesday, look for scattered showers mainly in the afternoon. A lot of that into the interior portions of our viewing area. 40% chance on Thursday. It drops off a little bit as we head into the weekend at 20% on Saturday. High temperatures near 90. Back to you.
Thank you. Checking First Alert traffic tonight. The southbound lanes of I-75 are backed up right around the Bee Ridge Road exit. Northbound lanes, though, are looking clear at this hour. Scott?
In consumer news, Volkswagen announcing plans to use 3D printers to mass produce certain auto parts. The world's largest car maker will utilize HP metal printing technology for parts like gear knobs and custom tailgate lettering. The company aims to use 3D printing for mass production of structural parts within 2 to 3 years. Volkswagen officials say 3D printing won't likely produce an entire car anytime soon, but the number of parts made with this technology will increase over time.
Americans are upping their borrowing. The Federal Reserve says consumer debt jumped over $16 billion in July. That's nearly twice the number from June. The increase was largely led by student and auto loans, but credit card debt, which fell in June, turned around in July and rose by more than $1 billion.
Stay with us. We've got your entertainment news coming up next.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Get more for your money during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. Now, lease a new Subaru Forester for just $229 a month or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now. In one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
In entertainment news, actor James Van Der Beek sharing a brave message about miscarriages.
The Dawson's Creek star revealing he and his wife have experienced 3. Now he's calling for a new name for pregnancy loss. ABC's Diane Macedo tells us why.
Fast. You got it, kiddo.
This morning, actor James Van Der Beek is making waves on social media, encouraging society to make a change regarding the word miscarriage. He writes in an Instagram post, "Wanted to say a thing or two about miscarriages. We need a new word for it." He adds, "It has nothing to do with anything the mother did or didn't do, so let's wipe all the blame off the table before we even start." Van Der Beek and his wife Kimberly welcomed their 5th child to the world earlier this summer, but he says over the past 3 years the couple also lost 3 babies. Now, the actor most known for his role on Dawson's Creek is speaking about how he and his wife dealt with that loss and encouraging others to do the same. Writing, "Many couples become closer than ever before. Many parents realize a deeper desire for a child than ever before. But please share whatever may have given you peace or hope along the way, along with a new word for this experience. hashtag miscarriage, hashtag we need a new name. Diane Macedo, ABC News, New York.
Well, another celebrity also suffering the loss of an unborn child. Backstreet Boys' Nick Carter says he's heartbroken after his wife Lauren Kitt experienced a miscarriage. She was expecting the couple's second child. Carter is currently on a solo tour in South America and Mexico. He said he nearly canceled his concert on Monday because of his loss.
Julie Chen, co-host of The Talk and wife of Les Moonves, is taking a few days off from the CBS Chat show. In a statement, she said she's going to spend the time with her family. This comes after Moonves stepped down as chairman and CEO of CBS amid sexual assault allegations, which he denies. Chen says she will be there live Thursday night, however, as host of the CBS reality show Big Brother.
Well, Luke Bryan opened his new Nashville bar and restaurant with a free outdoor concert last night on the city's famed musical highway called Broadway. Bryan cut the camouflage ribbon on his 32 Bridge restaurant before he hit the stage for 30,000 fans. That restaurant features memorabilia from his career, including pictures, platinum plaques, handwritten lyrics, and even a truck that he used to ride out on stage during one of his tours. I did not know he was opening a restaurant, but if I ever go to Nashville, I'll have to check it out.
I suspect it's going to do pretty well.
Probably.
We'll be right back with more news.